There are three main ways you can become a software developer. Bootcamps are not a magic pill, they're actually hard work. The average salary increase in their first role after the program is $15,000 a year. This was the path that I took, and it was still incredibly hard. It requires so much self-discipline. They're not here promising people, oh, you'll make $200K a year after a 3-week course. I actually got a DM from a girl that joined a bootcamp in 2021, and she told me that it changed her life. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to chat about different ways to learn programming while putting my coding setup together. If you're new here, I'm Jackie and I'm a software engineer. I currently work at Amazon Prime Video, but my background is actually in mechanical engineering. I started my career in 2018 as an aerospace engineer, and a few months into my first job, I started writing scripts to automate simulation workflows because I was in an aerodynamics team, and this is how I transitioned into software engineering. That was the very beginning. This video is in collaboration with CareerFoundry, an online school focused on career changes into tech. They very kindly invited me to review their web development course, and I'll be sharing my thoughts about it throughout the video while chatting about the different ways to learn programming in 2023. Now, my STEM background definitely gave me a lot of advantages when I was learning programming, but it was very challenging nonetheless, so I hope that this video can help you. These are the things that I'm going to use on my setup. I get asked about how to learn how to code all the time, both online and offline. And honestly, I wish there was a simple answer, but there really isn't one because it's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. I need one of these because this is a European socket and I live in the UK. There are different strategies and different methods to learn programming, and it's kind of up to you to explore them and see what fits best with yourself, because we all have different strengths and weaknesses, so it's kind of up to each and every one of us to kind of decide for ourselves. But overall, I would say that there are three main ways you can become a software developer. You can go to university, or you can try to teach yourself, or you can go to an online school, such as, for example, CareerFoundry. Uni typically offers a very structured and comprehensive education, and there's a lot of networking opportunities, and there's obviously internships, so that's the plus point of it. However, it does require a significant time and financial investment, and that's why it's not always the best solution for everyone. The advantage when you're teaching yourself is that it's very cost effective, obviously, and it's very flexible. This was the path that I took, and I already had an engineering degree, and it was still incredibly hard. It requires so much self-discipline and self-motivation, and the lack of formal credentials might make it harder for you to find a job, to be very honest. You really need to compensate with projects and with experience to make up for the fact that you don't have a degree or you don't have an official certificate that you learn these skills. Now, an online school usually gives you a very supportive environment, and you get expert guidance and you get a more structured program as compared to when you're learning by yourself. It is also often much more affordable than university, and it tends to be flexible because they do it such that people can still work a job and learn coding on the side. However, it still requires self-motivation and some financial investment and time management skills. So if you're not looking to enroll at university, you're left with self-teaching or going to an online school. In my opinion, there are three main advantages that an online school offers over the self-learning path. First of all, you leave with portfolio-ready projects. Secondly, you usually receive a lot of guidance and mentorship along the way, which is really good. And lastly, in schools like, for example, CareerFoundry, you get a job guarantee, meaning that they help you in finding a job after you finish the course. And if you don't manage to find a job after a certain amount of time, they usually refund you the tuition, which is really great. I think that the main advantage over signing up for a school or a bootcamp, it's not even so much about the content itself, because there is a lot of good content online available for free, but it takes you a lot of time to filter out the noise and the content that's not good. And when you don't know how to code, it's really hard for you to identify whether a resource is good or not. You can learn a lot when you teach yourself, but you can learn much faster when you have the support and the mentorship of others. I noticed this because later I joined two friends of mine in building Etsy.com, and they were already programmers. I was kind of more in the beginning of my coding journey, so I learned a lot from them, and they used to review my code and give me a lot of resources and feedback, and that really helped me. And if I didn't have their support, I think it would have taken me much longer to become a software engineer. It's looking good. So as I mentioned, I reviewed CareerFoundry's web development course because web development was the area that I started out in. So yeah, I will dive right into it. They offer pricing options that are very transparent and very reasonable. You can check them on the website. And they also have the option of flexible payment plans if you need them. I haven't cleaned my mat in a while, clearly. Their program is flexibly paced and it has an average duration of 10 months, assuming that you have something else going on, for example, a day job. There are 3 deadlines along the duration of the course to help you keep on track, and you can expect to devote roughly 15 to 20 hours per week to the course. And the good thing is really the fact that you don't need to quit your job or miss out on other commitments to do this, because it is very flexible, and if you can only devote 5 to 10 hours per week, that's also fine. You can do it at your own pace. In terms of support, the program assigns you a mentor, a tutor, and also a coach later on when you're applying to jobs. The mentor is someone that will review your portfolio projects, whereas the tutor is more the person you will ask all of your day-to-day questions to. And as I mentioned, the coach is more for when you're applying to jobs. He will give you feedback on your CV and it will help you with the processes. I honestly think that they offer outstanding support because each student gets these specialists, and then there's also a collaborative Slack channel to talk on. You can then book calls with your mentor at times that suit you best, and you will get written and video feedback throughout the course. As I already mentioned, they have a job guarantee, and this is something that I quite like about them. The coach you will be assigned to will help you with your CV and your application materials, and the coach will also be from the area where you live in. So the coach will be familiar with the local market and will be able to provide you with location-specific feedback for interviews and interview processes and companies, etc. And if you really don't find a job after 6 months of completing the program, you will get your tuition refunded to you. I'm a bit overwhelmed here, not gonna lie. In terms of the curriculum of the course, in my opinion, it is quite well crafted and it's very comprehensive. It focuses on front-end and back-end development, focusing more on Node.js, JavaScript, React, obviously, SQL and NoSQL databases, client and server-side programming, and then testing and deployment as well. And then at the end, you have a specialization, and you can pick whether you want to learn Python for web development or if you want to specialize more in cloud computing. So the 3 milestones of the program are intro to front-end development, the full stack immersion, and then the specialization, which can be Python for web development or cloud computing, as I mentioned. And throughout the course, they have quizzes and tasks, and then you also get to apply the knowledge on realistic projects. And this is how you build up the projects that you will kind of include in your portfolio. And if you want to try them out before you sign up, they have some free courses which you can try. I believe there's 5 lessons available for free to everyone, so you can check whether this is something that would resonate with you. I just realized that the cable management situation is not looking good. I'll deal with it later. So over 7,000 people have already graduated CareerFoundry, and the average salary increase in their first role after the program is $15,000 a year. I think this is a really good and realistic number, and it shows that the investment does pay off. Another interesting statistic is that on average it takes a graduate 75 days to land their first job after the program. To be completely honest, obviously CareerFoundry is sponsoring this video, but I do think that they have quite good statistics, and that's why I accepted working with them. They're not here promising people, oh, you'll make $200K a year after our 3-week course, because that's impossible, and I don't like it when people make these type of false advertising on the internet. Bootcamps are not a magic pill, they're actually hard work, and if done correctly, they offer you a foot in the industry, and then it's up to you to keep gaining experience and keep working yourself up. Obviously, you can achieve those numbers, but it's maybe not realistic for most locations to expect it on the first job. I think I have a headphone stand somewhere. Found it. So my honest opinion and my honest recommendation is that for the vast majority of people, a bootcamp or an online school is probably a better option and a more efficient option to learn to code. And this comes from someone who took the self-learning path. It does require an initial investment, both in terms of time and financially, but it is something that really does pay off. And programming is honestly such a versatile skill, you can honestly apply it in any industry. Even if you learn web development but end up working as an analyst, for example, you'll still find that there's a lot of useful interchangeable knowledge. Yeah, connected my laptop. About a year ago, I actually got a DM from a girl on Instagram that joined a bootcamp in 2021 after seeing my stories talking about how I learned to code. And she told me that it changed her life. I don't know if she really meant it or if she was just being nice, but that's what she said. She mentioned that she felt very lost at the time, and without a clue about what she wanted to do with her professional life, but she decided to take a risk and join the bootcamp, and that today she wakes up in the morning to do a job that she actually likes, and she has way more disposable income than she did before. Getting these messages makes me feel like I have purpose in life, and helping you guys in any way, whether it is through a bit of advice or inspiration or motivation or whatever, it really adds a lot of value to my life as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this, and I really appreciate it, and I just wanted to kind of end the video on this note. All the details about Career Foundry and the web development course will be in the description, so just click the link if you want to check them out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!